The next section is where he gets the plectrum out. So all of that first part is all picking. There's a little bit here, you'll hear from the last time where he's done the fingerstyle. If you listen really closely, you can hear him lift his fingers off the guitar. It's quite fun. Definitely recommend getting a half speed onto this, which is what I did today to make sure that I got all of the parts right. So yeah, if you get there's a link to a program called Transcribe on my website. You want to go and check that out, put the Stairway to Heaven into that and listen to it at half speed. It's quite cool. You can hear really clearly exactly what's going on. So yeah, you'll hear his fingers lift off, and this is at about 2 minutes 13 now we're at, as far as the tune goes. So he's then playing a G chord, and it's kind of got a bit of a rake to it, so it's not just a straight strum, it's kind of rakes through it a little bit. I'm using a kind of a medium pick here. I don't want to use a really thin pick that I might not regularly use for strumming, because they're not very accurate for picking one note at a time out, which is what you're going to have to do very soon. So now we've got the next little bit, which is I'm calling part C, which is this thing that goes like here. Now these are all really tasty chords. Rhythm's a little bit odd. The trick again is just making sure that you got that rhythm hand moving continuously. Duck it, duck it, duck it, duck it, duck it. It's kind of 16th note strumming. So we're starting off here with an A minor 7 chord. Now, do I go to a close-up of this? I think I will go to a close-up of this. Okay, so here we are for the close-up of part C. Make sure you get these chords sorted out. So what we're starting off with, there's a regular A minor chord, and we're just putting our little finger down here on the 3rd fret of the thinnest string. Then we're lifting off 3rd and 4th finger. And then we're going to G6 over D, which is plucking just the thinnest 4 strings and leaving 3rd finger down on the note D, which is the 3rd fret, 3rd finger, to a D chord. Then he plucks the A string once, and then now you can actually hear as he's changing chords to go back to the A minor. You can hear that. You can actually, if you slow it down, you'll hear actually the open strings ringing out. So you'll only hear that probably at half speed, but it's dead normal and nothing to worry about at all. So we got here A minor 7, 2 fingers off, G6 to D. Second time, those two stay the same, and now he goes into using a little thing called triads, which I'm going to have to move the camera for. Okay, so here's our triad. Now this one's an E minor chord. It's still going to have the open D string ringing out. You're not going to, the thinnest 2 strings aren't going to be touched, but you'll be plucking the open D string, and this little shape here, this is the 1st finger is on the 7th fret, so 7, 8, 9. And then that moves down 2 frets, if I can lean over and do this, and we have this shape, which is just a regular D chord. So 3rd finger, this is the 7th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, still with the open D. Now I don't know if I can quite lean over enough from here. No, I think I'm going to fall off my stool. It would be quite funny if I fell off my stool, but probably not for me. And then that same shape moves down to the 3rd fret, and then back up to the 5th fret. Let me just see if I can get a widey on that, and we can, you might be able to get, yeah, okay. That should be okay. So this part, so I'm off the screen for a second. This is an E minor over D, D, C over D, that's the same shape, and then just moved up again. Okay, so this part C, strumming hand. Let's have a little chat about that. So we've got that, first of all, that rake, which I mentioned to you, is kind of just like a slow strum where you dig in a little bit with your pick. we're going to have this down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up. So that last little bit there, we're lifting off on the very last up from the D. The strumming pattern for beats 3 and 4, down, down, up, down, down, up, and that's the little open strings that enable us to get back to our A minor. So if I just slow it right down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 down. Now you can see that even though I'm kind of moving my hand extra in between, and the reason for that is just that I'm trying to keep that hand moving consistently all the time. Now I can kind of hear a bass note, almost like it's going. That's kind of in there sometimes, but it just doesn't sound like a guitar to me. It sounds like a Rhodes piano, Fender Rhodes piano. I don't know if that's on there or not, because I don't really hear any of that in any other part, or it could be a second guitar part, because they're definitely famous for being a bit tricksy there with adding extra parts and stuff. There's quite a few guitars going on in this track, so it could be another guitar part. But if you move your hand and keep it moving and you accidentally brush that string on the beat, it sounds kind of cool anyway, so don't be afraid of that. Just here we go, I'll just play it one more time for you to get a good look at that hand. So we got here. Now, this part is also repeated a lot in the tune, and because it's repeated a lot, some of the later times he's adding a little bit more strumming. Not a whole lot more, but there's a couple of times where he's kind of adding an extra upstroke here and there. Now, I really don't have time, and I'm sure you don't want to listen to me rave on about, like, oh, in the 42nd bar he does an extra upstrum. If you play it exactly as I've got here, it'll sound right. If you're like a massively picky, fussy, whatever Led Zeppelin fan, and you want to know exactly what strums, you're going to have to use your own ears and try and figure out where they go. I'm showing you exactly what he's got the whole way, but really there's no point in going like to the point of ridiculous, I don't think. So that should have you for part C.